So hi guys, a very much awaited notification has been released. So here the notification that clearly explains what are the exemptions that are carry forwarded from the old scheme to the new scheme. You know, here they have given for final examination separately and for intermediate examination separately. Major confusion is regarding the intermediate part of the notification. Final examination related notification is very simple, very clear and simple. See, in the existing final, we have 8 subjects, old scheme, that is nothing but. In the new scheme also, we have 8 subjects only. Only thing is, 6 papers will be tested directly. 2 papers are online modules, self-paced online modules. Of course, in self-paced modules, 2 more papers were also there. But compared to old scheme, 2 papers were removed and kept under self-paced. So, but with respect to CA final, it is very simple. So, I'm not discussing at this moment. Now, first, let me focus on the intermediate. Okay. Then I will finally come back to the CA final related notification. Now, so those of you who are doing intermediate, CA inter right now, getting it, who are writing or planning to write or planning to skip November exams, whoever it is. So, this is the notification related to intermediate. In this, almost I can say, like very simple, you know, the corresponding papers, first they have given corresponding papers. Suppose if you have qualified paper 1 accounting in the new scheme, paper 1 is exempted. Even in the current, if you got exemption in paper 5, see, qualify means 60 or more than or 60 marks. Suppose in the upcoming November or in the recent May, getting it. Suppose if you got an exemption for either accounting or advanced accounting, either P1 or P5, you got exemption. You can carry forward it to the new scheme. Accordingly, paper 1 advanced accounting is exempt. Even if you qualify P1 or even if you qualify P5, any one is enough. Even if you qualify both exemption also, that's fine. Getting it? Then suppose if you qualify P2 with 60 plus marks, then corresponding in the new scheme, P2 is exempted. If you convert into new scheme, P2 you need not write. If you got exemption in P3, cost and management accounting, in the corresponding, it comes under paper 4, group 2, that is exempted. If at all you got exemption in paper 5, paper 4 taxation in old scheme, in the corresponding paper 3 is exempted. If you qualify audit is exempted. If you qualify EIS SM with exemption, in the corresponding scheme, entire FM and SM paper is fully exempt. Even in the current scheme, paper 8 you got with exemption. In the entire new scheme, FM and SM both are exempted. So this is the paper-wise exemption detail where there is no confusion at all. Getting it? In fact, this is much predicted. This is what even in my previous videos where I spoke about exemptions carry forward, this is what exactly we discussed. So now next, the main confusion is in the second part of this, where they have given various scenarios. You know, in order to understand these scenarios, first you need to understand the background behind CA intermediate. You know, let me be very clear. You know, originally when the CA course was launched, so actually CA Inter was the first name which is given. CA Intermediate is the first name which is chosen. Later, it was converted into PE2. Later, it was converted into PCE. Later, it was converted into IPCC. Again, later it came into CA Intermediate. So whatever first name when the institute launched this course, CA, whatever name is there, now right now we are seeing that. Right now, it is CA Inter old scheme. Now upcoming for May 24, CA Inter new scheme. So that terminology is what used in this. You know, in this, what is most important for everybody is not all these points straight away come to the 10th point. 10th point. This is what important for us. Not all the above 9 points, because most of the students right now who are in the market are from IPCE background, IPCC background. Getting it? Or either they might have registered newly for CA Inter. Either they are converted from IPCC to CA Inter old scheme, getting the point, or they have freshly registered under CA Inter old scheme. Only this is what new, you know, they are in the 99% of the students in the market. So suppose if at all you qualified group 1, when you qualified either in the intermediate examination of old scheme or before this intermediate, there is something called IPCC. Getting the point? Integrated Professional Competency Examination, that one. Getting it? So in such a case, like in IPCC or CA Inter, there are in group 1, we have 4 subjects common. All these 4 is exempted. All these 4 exempted in the next scheme, next attempt. You just have to write group 2. So what you have to write in group 2? You have to write advanced accounting, corporate and other law, and cost and, just a minute, ma. Sorry. Yeah. So these are the papers you qualified by clearing group 1, correct? Now, in the corresponding, what are the papers exempted? Since you qualified group 1, accounting you qualified, advanced accounting is exempt. Ethics, law and ethics you qualified, in the corresponding paper, law is exempt. CMA, cost and management is qualified, in the corresponding paper 4 is exempted. Tax is qualified, automatically in the new scheme, May 24, tax is also exempted. So, which means out of 6, 4 are exempted. So, only 2 you have to write, audit and FM and strategic management. Now, this question is what many students ask me. Sir, suppose, I already qualified in the May attempt, sir, group 1, or in the upcoming November, if I clear group 1, in the May 2024, if I just write 2 papers in group 2, is it enough? Yes, it is enough. So that's what this notification clearly gives. And of course, once you qualify all these, these 2 papers also, you will enroll into articleship. Thereafter, you have to write self-paced modules. All the 4 you have to write. In the self-paced modules, only for existing final old students only, there were some exemptions. Whoever is going to enroll into articleship freshly, whoever have not yet given any single attempt in CA final, for you, all the 4 papers of self-paced modules will be applicable. Remember, in self-paced module, exemption question only for those existing CA final students only this discussion comes. Getting it? Next, suppose, so this is about group 1. Suppose, sir, I qualified already group 2, sir, in the last May 23, or in the November attempt, sir, I am planning to qualify group 2. Getting the point? What are the consequences for May? Suppose at present in group 2, what papers we have? So, advanced accounting, auditing, and paper 7, information technology. Suppose if it is IPCC. Suppose if it is IPCC, not CA Into. Not CA Into. Getting the point? Now, since you qualified already group 2 under IPCC mode, obviously in the old scheme also, group 2 is not applicable for you. Even in the new scheme also, accounting it is exempted, audit exempted. And FM and strategic management is exempted. So what are the papers you have to write? Costing you have to write. Tax you have to write. Law you have to write. So which means in the new scheme, group 2 is fully exempt. Only group 1 you have to write. Group 2 costing is applicable and group 1 only 2 papers are applicable. Getting it? And entire self-paced modules as usual. Suppose you passed group 1, group 2 in the existing scheme in the May 23 or November 24. So this is something old, This is IPCC related. I just strongly meant May 23 and November 23. So this is not May 23, November 23. IPCC students, that is not relevant. Majority students right now in the market are intermediate students. Suppose if you are an intermediate student and qualified group 2, which means you are clearing 4 papers. What are they? Advanced accounts you qualified, auditing, EISSM, FM and economics. So in the new scheme, FM and economics, either if, entire group 2 you qualified. So automatically, group 2 related papers, FM and SM, group 2 related papers, audit exempted, and even group 1 accounts is exempted. Why? Because you qualified already advanced accounting. Group 2 itself is you qualified. So naturally, that corresponding paper is also exempt. So which papers you have to write for the law you have to write, and cost and management accounting and taxation. Only these papers you have to write. Simple. If you qualify a particular group, corresponding group, if these papers were there, they were all exempt. If any new paper is there in that corresponding group, that you have to write. Very simple as such. Are you clear? Suppose you did not qualify full group in the November 23 or in the May 23. Simple, under the old scheme, whatever exams that are going to be conducted or already were conducted. You did not qualify full group. You qualified any one particular subject. You got exemption. Then corresponding paper will be exempted in the new scheme. That's it. If you qualified entire group itself, then corresponding group, whatever subjects were there in this group, corresponding group, whatever subjects, they were exempted. Remaining papers you have to write. That's it. As simple as such. Now in this, they have not spoke about Unit 10 students. Unit 10 students. Who are Unit 10? They are originally enrolled for IPCC. They converted into CA Inter. Where they just have to write FM and SM paper. Right now, P7 EIS and SM paper, only these 2 they are supposed to P6 audit they have to write, P7 EIS and SM they have to write, P5 advanced accounting they have to write in the November attempt. In the November they are supposed to write like this if at all Unit 10 students are still pending. So these are the 3 papers which they have to write in the coming November 2023. Now these students are asking me this question, sir. Suppose I already qualified group 1 sir in the old IPCC method. What if I now already converted into CA Inter sir? Now if I want to convert once again to new scheme sir, what is the benefit? That point they have not clarified, but logically what I feel is If you convert into new scheme and planning to write in May 24 attempt, you just have to write 2 papers and get 50% as a whole aggregate. As a whole aggregate, how much you have to get? 50%. Getting it? So audit and audit in the new scheme and FM and FM in the new scheme. You just have to write that. That's it. So what I tell them is, if you try to get exemption in auditing and ESSM in the November paper, whether you qualified advanced accounts or not doesn't matter. If you get these 2 papers exemption, later after you convert, these 2 you are going to convert. Accounts you already qualified in the old scheme. So automatically entire in the May 24 group 2 fully exempt for you. So that's it. That's about the CA interrelated information. Okay, I'm not talking about PCE, PE2, all that. This is very, hardly negligible percentage of students will be there. So I'm not going to talk about that. If at all any of such students were there, please put it as a comment below. I will clarify. Now, final students coming to CA final. If at all you got exemption, you did not qualify full group in the upcoming November or in the past May attempt, whatever it is, under the existing scheme, you did not qualify full group, but you got exemption in FR. Corresponding FR is exempted in the new scheme. SFM, corresponding AFM is exempted. Audit, corresponding audit is exempted. Suppose you got exemption in law. In the new scheme, self-paced module for law is exempted. P5 you got exemption in the current scheme. In the new scheme, self-paced module related to strategic cost management is exempted. Suppose you got exemption in elective paper. Any paper you choose. You have chosen some paper, economic loss, whatever. In the new scheme, the corresponding integrated solution paper itself is exempted. Suppose in the existing elective, you have some 6 or 7 options. Any option you have chosen, some option you qualified with exemption. In the new scheme, that paper itself is exempted. Paper 7, DT and ITT you got exemption. In the new scheme, DT is exempted. Paper 8, ITT you got exemption. In the new scheme, paper 5. Suppose in the current scheme, you qualified group 1 itself. Group 1 means you qualified FR, SFM, audit and law. In the new scheme, group 1 is exempted and self-paced module of law is exempted. Resultantly, you have to just write entire group 2 and the self-paced module for SCMP. That's it. Suppose in the current scheme, you qualified group 2, means you qualified for SCMP you qualified, elective paper you qualified, the direct taxation you have qualified, IDT means you clear group 2. In the corresponding paper, entire group 2 is exempted. In the corresponding entire group 2 is exempted. Paper 4, 5, 6 is exempted. And not only that, self-paced module SCMP is also exempted. You just have to write group 1 plus the self-paced module economic loss. I hope you are clear. Okay, so with this, I think every one of you would have got some clarity. If at all you are still having any other queries, put it as a comment. I'll try my best to reply each and every comment. Okay, all the very best. Bye.